I just want to crawl in this jar right now, dude.
Oh shit.
And just live in it. Oh, grape gas.
Oh yeah. Classic strain.
Grape pie, jet fuel gelato cross.
Hmm.
And dude, let me tell you, this thing, I did a bowl of it out the volcano last night. Even through the fourth bag, bro. Flavor popping.
Terps for
Milky
days.
bags, dude. I got 5 bags out of it, and even the fifth bag still had a decent amount in there. I'm surprised.
I like hearing that. That is always a wonderful thing. It's a great way for us to kick off a podcast. So, gentlemen, are you guys ready?
Yeah, dude.
Hell yeah.
Well, let's give it to them. This is the Shedtime podcast in 3, 2, 1, go.
What's going on, friends? It's your boy Stan Tenacious TX Vapes. You are listening to the sexiest podcast since Betty White, and now, Shedtime.
All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. What a great run we're having right now. Foot Clan Dan, what a great time that, guys. Don't you think, guys?
Dude,
Hell fucking
love
yeah.
Dan.
I
Bro.
love
It's
that
always
guy.
a good time chilling.
Dude, I forgot how much I enjoyed Dan's company until we did that. And it was awesome to have him on. I hope you guys all listening enjoyed these couple of episodes with Dan that we were able to hit you with, because he's a fun, interesting guy. As you can see, does a ton of really cool stuff, and I'm excited to see where he goes from there. But I'm also excited to say that I just introduced a friend of the podcast to doing Dyna Snaps, and watching him take that first Dyna Snap today was fucking glorious.
Dude, you could tell that he got pretty rocked.
Dude,
Yeah.
I've actually seen a few people jumping on the old Dynasnap train. One of our fellow friends, good old Nick Green's been using the old Dynasnap method, which is sick to see.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing, man. I know we kind of blazed this trail for a lot of people. We are very grateful that you guys heard about it, saw us do it, tried it out yourselves, and found that you liked it as much as we do. Obviously, we can't take credit for it. It was done well before us, but I'm glad that we could be the ones to introduce people to it. Yeah, man. I'm speaking of Dynavap, I'm so gassed right now because the animal gas is back around. And if you guys have been listening to this show, you know, anytime that animal gas has come around, I try to scoop some up. So yeah, I'm super happy. And my wife hooked it up with a cool little lighter that she came up on as a sort of a like birthday thing. Like, here, this thing is pretty friggin' solid, boys. I like this guy a lot. Super
dude,
durable construction.
It's like a small version of the old dab torch.
Yeah, man. Large
I've had a few of
capacity.
those.
These things are nice. It's even got like a rubberized grip going on here, so that's really nice. But yeah, man, this thing is making the old Dynavap sing. So digging that, man. Super convenient. I mean, especially
Dude, isn't
with the
that crazy?
FMJ.
Like how different certain tools can be. Like I'm sure that we've talked about this a bunch of times, but just down to like you can use a single flame, a dual flame. If you're trying to use like something for a rig and you're trying to like utilize that, you need a certain level of torch and all these different things that can affect everything so much. Because I find that sometimes my dual torch, like I feel like when I've used a few other people's single torches, so like when I was chilling with James in Vegas, or like at Will's house, he has a single torch, and James had like a throwaway single torch. I like found that like I could kind of fucking get like a little bit more rowdy hits because it wouldn't just click, and I would be feeling as dangerous by going beyond the click with my lighter. It just was like a slower buildup. but it just like made me think like, okay, like something as simple as going down to the level of flame that you got going can affect how it's used, and like all these different things. It's like you can find your preferred way of using anything, and even down to a lighter with a Dynavap.
And that's the thing, is like even when you get into that, right, single flame can make a huge difference in just your device, because like this one has a capability of doing a bigger, stronger flame than this one, and I liked this one more than the other one that I have, which is really nice, don't get me wrong, but like this little guy can't put out nearly the strength of a flame that this one does. So like there's definitely, even variances within a category of that tool. And yeah, for one thing I found out, it was an interesting piece of advice that I had read from Simrel collection, actually. Shout out to Simrel. One of their pieces of advice was to make sure that the inner blue visible part of your flame was roughly the same length as your cap for optimal heating. And I thought that was an interesting tip. And so I started to kind of mess with it. And so far, I am noticing that my smaller flame is not as optimal of a heating as my longer flame. And that's what she said. But
Heyo.
Yeah, no, I think that ultimately this is just my reminder that I need to get myself like a couple more torches to find one that I just love. Like I've been using this torch for over a year, and like it's not going to let me down. I just have realized that by having a different torch that I might be able to like tailor in my shit even more than I already have, and I feel like pretty good. But just utilizing some of these single flames, it was different.
Mm-hmm. I'm definitely a big fan of the single flame. As we've talked about in the past, the single flame definitely has that nuance. It allows you a little bit more room to tailor your experience, and a little less room for error too, right? Like you were saying, Chris, you feel a little bit more comfortable pushing it just past the click.
You're able to get that bass drop without running the risk of really combusting as much as you would with like a dual or triple torch, I feel.
Yeah, I've never used any of the multi-flame.
Because if you wanted to, you could get a single torch to heat as hot as like a dual or single, you know what I mean? You're just gonna have to turn it up. But I like the fact, like you're saying, Chris, like you can really dial it in, I feel, a lot more with the single torch, because you can like really narrow down where you're hitting the cap with the single torch, because you only have that one peak of that one flame to really worry about, you know what I mean?
I feel that it like builds
it's
up
just
the
it's
heat.
yeah, and it's more controlled, I feel, you know what I mean? You get a more gradual
Excuse me.
heat up compared to a more instantaneous heat up, you know what I mean? So I feel like you vaporize it more thoroughly that way too.
100%.
Lower, slower, low and slow, baby. You know what I mean? Like you're smoking a steak or a fucking pork shoulder or something, you know?
A thing to know too, though, is your flame placement, right? Like,
oh yeah,
there's varying levels of heat inside that flame, and going too low is not going to be efficient. Going too high is not going to be efficient. There's like a nice middle ground inside that flame where it kind of wraps around your cap a little bit.
I've always been in the camp of, I don't have a torch that works a small torch that works at the moment. I guess I could just use this one for visual for a second. I've always been at the camp of, I always put whatever I'm heating to the tip of the internal blue flame.
Yep.
Not in it, not away from it, just like right to where that tip is like touching the surface of whatever I'm heating. You know what I mean? And I always feel that's been the best.
I'm like there to just inside it because like
and depending on, you know, what it is that I'm heating or what I'm trying to go for, you know what I mean? If I'm trying to go for more of a lower, slower, I'm going to pull away a little bit more, maybe not get as close. But maybe if I'm going for a nice little bit of a bass drop on a Dynavap hit and I'm hitting way down on the cap, I might, you know, kind of tip it into that inner blue flame a little, you know what I mean? Or if I'm heating up like my banger or something, and I don't necessarily, you know, I'm going to get it real hot and let it come back down anyways. I'll get it up in there a little bit. You know what I mean? I'm not going to fucking like bury the thing in there, but you know, cause like you said, Sean, at a certain point, once you get it into that flame of the torch, it's going to wrap around at a good point, and you know.
Yep. And it's the same goes for your banger, right? Like if you hit that spot right, it comes up around and it fully warms and wraps everything the way that you need. You know, I think of it like vaping, right? When you get the airflow to hit the coil right and wrap around both sides of the coil.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I think when you've hit that spot on the torch where it does that, that's where you're getting your like peak efficiency on your torch and getting your flames to do the best work it can for you. There is obviously a challenge to that. Again, right? If your flame is too small, it's a lot harder to get into that space. So single torch, bigger flame if possible, because you can always dial it down. Let's go. Get inside the zone, rip that shit. And yeah. Speaking of ripping that shit, did you just rip that grape?
No, I just packed it. I haven't even fucking turned on the Volcano yet.
I'm excited to get the play-by-play on that flavor.
This stuff is so fucking good, Sean. Let me tell you, it's so good. I'm not even like I've been in the camp of putting a lot of bubble hash in my Volcano bowls the past few weeks.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't putting shit in this stuff, bro. I'm going straight fucking flour, dude. It's so tasty. Dude, that's a nice vaporization there, Chris.
Yeah, and like Sean, it did exactly what I said, right? Like that was a perfect one. Like it's kind of dropped down a touch from the cap.
Yeah. That's where it's set in a little bit, but it's nice and brown and crispy, but not like black.
Just basically just touched it and it just went.
Okay. Are you guys of the camp of packing your bowl the way that I do, to where it's like you literally get your grinder and you take your thing and you cover up your carb and you just use it like a straw and just fill your bowl that way?
I don't do that now personally. I just scrape it out of the.
I do that, and then I just slightly kind of just like I take my cap and I just like will tap in what might be poking out, and then just put my cap on there, and I feel like it's like the perfect.
I'm in between because I have my times where like I can definitely get a little more material in than I want when I try to use it like the straw technique. What I do is I use the straw technique when I'm getting to the bottom of what I have prepared, right? Because like I always have one of these little paper trays with some product ready to go, so that way I can just load up. And when I have in this kind of a quantity, I sort of follow Chris's technique where I'm just I'll have my finger in there and I'll just kind of like gently scoop against it, and then a couple taps with the finger, pop the cap on. But when I get towards the end and I'm in like that last little zone, yeah, totally using the straw technique. So that way I can just pull it all in, this nice little line of weed, get it all up in there, get a nice pack ball and rip that shit.
I don't know. I guess I think I like packing mine a little loose.
Mine are still pretty loose, man. Like we were talking about this with our friend Ryan earlier about like the whole like having it at this kind of like loose pack where it looks full when you pack it, and then when you vaporize it, the moisture. Yeah,
because mine always does what like Chris says. Mine always drops like a mil or so.
Yep.
After I'm done, you know what I mean.
We all get the same kind of a pack experience, just a little, different methods. But that is a great point that we're making for listeners who are maybe still trying to dial in a good Dynavap experience. There's different
styles, bro. For sure.
Yeah. I'm gonna say loose but not so loose that if you held it upside down after packing it, your material fell out.
Yeah.
That's kind of what you're shooting for. Like we're all saying, if
And that's why I always take the cap after doing the straw method and just kind of, because there's always a little bit poking out afterward, give it a little tap, and then I can flip it over, nothing falls out.
But like we've been saying, if you vaporize it, you get through your sesh, you take your cap off, and you see that your material has literally dropped down a little bit. You had a pretty good solid pack for that. A nice proper sort of pack where you're getting some really good vaporization out of it. Because that's the thing, man. That hot air has to move through that material to fully vaporize it, and when what you're seeing is that moisture in those materials being vaporized, and you're left with dry, crumbled, toasty material.
I'll tell you what, though. First bag, all the terps, bro. All the terps.
Yeah, James, actually, I don't think you were here when I was talking about it before, but like, dude, this super booth that I'm rocking.
You were telling me last night.
Dude, like today it's like even like more because like I haven't like my flavor, my
Your palate's
receptors
fresh.
are better. Yeah. Dude. It's fucking crazy. Actually, Sean, I think that like now I've like kind of narrowed it down to it's like really grapefruit. Like I get like a lot of like
a citrus.
grapefruit. Yeah, but like that tart,
yeah,
like how grapefruit makes
like
your like
tart,
mouth
tangy,
go like
sort
a bit
of
weird.
Yeah,
it's kind of like that, man. Oh, it's pretty good. The high is nice.
Yeah, the strain is a cross of Black Cherry Punch and Tropicana Cookies.
Yeah, it's fucking
I could see that. Very tropical.
Yeah, and it sounds like the Tropicana Cookies is definitely doing a lot in the flavor terps.
Dude, I just had some Tropa. Oh fuck, I don't know what this is now. The strain's gone. I don't have the container. This is some Tropicana something rosin that was super fucking tropical-y, tasty, kind of grapefruity, guava-y sort of.
I'm a big fan of Tropicana Cookies, and I mean it's a sativa leaning hybrid, so I think it's like a 60-40 sativa if I remember correctly, because I mean it's still a cookies, right? So like it's gonna have a lot of that like Girl Scout cookie heady vibe of the indica from that still in it. But yeah, that the whatever that citrus terp is that they're using to get to that like Tropicana Cookies thing is delicious. It's kind of like we were talking about in a past episode, how like there's those certain terps you love that you just kind of have to like be careful of, like those tangy terps. Tropicana Cookies lets me have those kind of tangy terps without putting me in the danger zone.
Dude, second bag, milky, hitting me in the lungs a little bit there. Still tasty though. This shit's like it's definitely indica dominant. Where's the box at? Is there anything cool on this box about this strain? No. It's got it's got 0.66% limonene, 0.55% myrcene, 0.45% caryophyllene.
So she's got the gassy berry with a little bit of a kick.
It's very grapey. It's definitely got those gassy kind of notes at the end. Because this is a cross between grape pie and jet fuel gelato for anybody who's curious. So all those flavors should be present in this. But dude, that first bag is so grapey, bro. You know what I mean? And this one definitely puts you in your seat.
Yeah, jet fuel gelato is no joke in and of itself. So then you start crossing that with any of those grape strains, you're in for a ride.
It was crazy too, because I was after this when I went to the old shop. Shout outs to Stizzy and Barstow. But I was out there and I was like, all right, so hit me with some, like, what would you recommend at the moment? And that's not what they recommended, but they recommended this stuff. I haven't tried it yet. But I want to show you guys a nugget of this stuff because it looks tasty. It's called Kush Gelato. So a Kush Gelato. It's a nice nugget, dude. Oh, wait. Nice nugget. very compact, dense. You know what I mean? It's not squishing much, you know. So that's gonna break down pretty nicely. And then
Looks
once
good.
she recommended this, I was like, oh, you know what? Do you have any of that grape gas from Pure Beauty? And she's like, yeah. Actually, that's all we have left. Like, I like that you know your flower, man. I was like, hell yeah. I know my shit. This stuff was delicious. I want it again. But yeah, dude, I picked up some I had to go pick up some more flour because I've been using a lot more of it lately.
Loving it. Loving it.
There's a couple days this week I didn't even take a dab till like, right before I was gonna call it a night. Took a little one just to,
Little
nightcap it.
nightcap. Sometimes that's the best part of having a dab around. Like I got my ganja berry in finally. So I've got I got the fucking beautiful guava pie number 5, one of my favorites. It's a live rosin's tier one. It's fucking delicious. And I got this mimosa. And this mimosa is a clementine purple punch, so it's like a nice balanced hybrid. And actually, this is the craziest thing. I went out on a double date for the first time in my life. My wife and I went out with a friend of ours and his new girlfriend, and went out to dinner. And we ripped a dab of that fucking mimosa before we went to dinner. Mwah. Because like the mimosa is just those strong citrus terps, which definitely gets the motor running. It makes you, happy and giggly and excited and stuff. But that purple punch has the funk in it that just kind of like keeps you mellow and relaxed. So like we went out to this spot. We got a spot out here called Speedwell, who's known for hot wings, like award winners for their hot sauces and shit. They've got one called the Ex-Girlfriend. Let me tell you, boys, I love this shit. Are you familiar with Gold Rush wings?
No.
So a Gold Rush wing is when they'll mix usually honey mustard, barbecue, and buffalo all together. So
Sounds tasty.
Some places will call it a gold digger.
Never heard
or just
of them,
a golden wing. But
sounds like it might be good.
They're delicious, in my opinion. So what these guys do, the Ex-Girlfriend, is a gold digger sauce that they make with one of their extra spicy hot sauces added to it. So we did a big round of boneless on those with fries and their Hellfire, which is their award-winning like super hot sauce. And the combination of the already ridiculously hot Gold Rush style wing with the even hotter Hellfire was incredible. And the Hellfire as a French fry dipping sauce, highly recommend.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'd never thought about that. Like
Thank you.
Using some nice fierce hot sauce, but like it's just a French fry dip.
Yeah, I'll be
like I got a bottle of
sriracha.
I'll make some fries, put some sriracha on them bitches. Let's go.
Yeah, I'm not really a hot food guy, man. I'm not saying that I don't enjoy like, some spice. I'm not like one of I'm not going after the Scoville units, man.
Yeah, like you're cautiously like thinking, you're like, all right, well,
yeah.
When I order this, how hot is this one gonna be?
Yeah.
Like where someone
I could take
like
it
myself,
to my top.
What's
Here,
the hottest thing you have?
like if we're talking wings, bro, the hottest I'm going on a wing, and it's not very often that I do it. It's only when I'm really feeling it. Is like a mango habanero.
Oh,
and that's like my
legit. Though.
And that's like my top. That's like the hottest I'll go.
Dude, it's crazy. Like that's just
not
how
saying
things work, right? That's like my base.
I say,
like,
that's like my mild.
Hot, like I don't want it.
Yeah, because much more than that, I don't enjoy it. You know what I mean? I want to be able to enjoy it. You know what I mean? And like I like the fact that it's sweet and spicy, you know what I mean? So like that part is like why I'm like, all right, I could deal with this, you know what I mean? The mango mixed with the habanero is just the perfect combination. But anything much hotter than that, I start to not enjoy it. Like
Dude,
if
you
I'm
ever
like
had,
if
like,
my
a
nose
peanut butter
starts
hot?
running and my eyes are watering and like it makes me like
Yeah, that's
I
called
don't
eating. That's good.
no,
That's good
that's
times.
called fucking torture, bro. I want
Yeah,
to be
and
that's not
see, that's the
enjoyable to
thing,
me.
right? It's crazy because you enjoy it when you don't get to that point, and I don't enjoy it until I get to that point. Like that's how like strange everything can be
Yep.
in this fucking planet. Because like I understand what you're saying. I have lots of friends that are like you. Like they'd be like the person that would be like, all right, you know what? I'll get the hot wings at this place, but normally I would just get like medium or mild. Um, and they would get them, and that would be them living, you know. And you could tell you'd have like buddies like that.
And I'll
then
say
I'd be
this too.
like,
It's like I'm not
"What's the
eating the
hottest
mango
shit you got?"
habanero, and I'm sitting there like, and I'm just like I'm eating. And I'm like, all right, this is cool. But if I'm eating,
It's like that's some spice.
Yeah.
Like, you'll be thinking that.
yeah, I'm like,
okay.
yeah, this is pretty spicy, but I can deal with this. You know what I mean? Because I've eaten really hot shit before, and I just like it, I just don't like it, dude. You know?
Yeah, I don't like stupid heat for the sake of stupid heat. If there's like a bunch of flavor included with that really hot,
like that's
what
when
I'm
I
chasing.
make exceptions. Like if it's got really good flavor, there's sometimes where like I'll endure a little more heat just because I enjoy the flavor, but I'm not going to eat a lot of it, you know?
Yeah, like shout out to this like bar up in like I guess the Greater Toronto area, and it's called Duff's Bar, and they have like a challenge there for like the hottest wings possible or whatever, and they have like two of like these really hot, like they're over 1 million Scoville unit sauces on their wings, and dude, it's all fresh made right there. Like they literally craft all of that shit fresh. And the flavors that you get are incredible. But your boy was fucking every time I've ate them, like I'm blowing my nose crazy. My fucking fingertips like feel like they're on fire almost. Like
Yeah.
the further you go along,
Fuck
it
that
feels like
shit.
they're getting hotter and hotter and hotter. But they taste absolutely delicious.
Yep.
But yeah, they're hot. They're hot. Like my friends would be there with me to be like, "How are you even enjoying this?" I'm like, "This is amazing. This is so good. These things are hot as fuck."
It's that adrenaline rush, man, because like I chase it. So like
Yeah.
that's what was so good about last night. It's like these guys were into the hot shit too, so they're like, yeah, let's fucking do that. And oh my god, because their super hot sauce, like we've talked about it plenty. Like I've eaten the the last dab, I've eaten the bomb. I keep the bomb in my fucking fridge for Christ's sakes. The last dab is a goddamn out of body experience. Like your first time trying that, it's a friggin' out of body experience. It's that hot. Their Hellfire is like it's that like aggressive.
Damn it. Pop my bag.
Oh no.
That's a bummer.
It's a sad day. Do you have the spare?
Oh, I've got plenty of spares. But
Thank goodness.
That was a dank bag, bro.
It looked it. That was a cloud. R.I.P. to the bag.
Fuck.
Now I want hot wings pretty bad.
Yeah.
It's gonna have to happen in the next like month. Next month I'm gonna have to have like proper fucking hot wings.
Now my room's just gonna be fucking stinking. I'm gonna have to open up a window.
Or as our friends might say, some wings. Get some hot wings. Get your fingers on them.
I loved eating chicken wings because I just
I love putting my
Just
fingers
saying
on some
that
good
sounds
chicken
ridiculous.
wings.
Chicken wing. Yeah, man. Another one that I always really like, just like one last touch on fucking wings. Is I always do like the ones that are sweet and hot. So like hot and hot, like honey hot,
Oh, dude, a good
like
hot
the
spicy
fucking-
honey. Yeah,
There's like
bro.
peanut butter hot. You guys ever had like a peanut butter hot wing?
Yeah, dude.
I
dude.
haven't, and like that is something
They're-
I want to experience because
They're
you guys
actually
told me
fire,
about
bro.
They're
this.
so good.
They're
They're
pretty
so good.
fire.
I give them a massive shout out too, because like I do. That's like me going for a mild. I'll get something like that. I'll be like, oh, I'm feeling mild today, and I'll have that, and it's still got a bit of heat, but there's like that flavor, and it's nice.
Yeah, peanut butter on a wing. Like it seems so weird, but like
It'd
I
probably
have-
be like a little bit more weird if they weren't fried. If they were baked wings, it might be a little bit weird.
I think either way, it's just like I don't think of peanut butter and meat.
No, but it goes with like the crispiness. Honestly, dude, you'd have to try it. You'd have to.
I have to. I need to know. You guys have both
good.
have confirmed it's fire. Ryan's confirmed it's fire. Will's confirmed it's fire. Like I need to try this in my life.
Yes. Yes, you do. Fuck. I love fucking. I love
Peanut
hot
butter
food.
hot wing, man. I like a good like rub too, like a dry rub wing. Like
Oh, and then like smoked or something.
smoked and
baked?
then fried, but you know what I mean? Like just using a good dry rub.
Like a lemon pepper wing or something.
Yeah, like I'm not a big lemon pepper guy specifically, but like yeah, like when you get like
Like that kind of style.
but yeah, exactly that same exact style where you can do like, you know, all these different dry rubs on them, different you know, paprikas and cayennes and garlic, onion powders, all that kind of great shit. Get them all good. Even like have you ever had a brined and smoked wing? That's
Can't do
just
that.
silly. They literally like you soak your wings for a couple of days in a nice brine, dry them, pat them off, smoke them for a few hours, and then you finish them off with a quick like grill to like crisp up the skin.
Isn't brine like basically salt water?
It can be. It can
Okay.
be.
Amongst other things.
It can be vinegar. It can be you know, salt and sugar and water. I often when I'm gonna smoke and I brine something, I'll do a salt, sugar, and water. That's just the way that I learned because it's more of a southern style,
Vinegar
I guess.
sometimes.
But yeah, sometimes people will use vinegar. Vinegar is good too, I guess, because it'll like draw out like impurities out of meat. So then you can like
Oh,
scum the like get the scum off the top before you go and like work with it. Yeah, I've been learning all sorts of weird, cool things about like cooking. Like I'm super intrigued to work with bone marrow now.
Dude, you know, I like almost never heard of it, but I felt like I've heard about bone marrow in the last year more than I ever really heard about bone marrow in the previous like 40 years.
I agree. I feel like
That's
it's a
fucking
sudden
crazy.
weird food trend that everyone's gotten into. But everything I see, everyone's like, dude, you roast, you clean the bone marrow by soaking it and brining it, and then you roast it with like some just simple like spices and herbs on top, and then you scoop that shit out and use it like a butter. And I'm going, this sounds amazing.
So isn't like pho, isn't that made with like bone marrow though?
Yeah, well, I mean, that bone broths
Or
are
bone broth,
yeah,
sorry,
bone broths are
sorry.
made that way because you're boiling out the marrow out of the bones. Absolutely. But we're talking about like literally roasting raw bone marrow, cutting a huge bone open and then roasting it
No,
and then
man.
scooping out the bone marrow and working with that.
Nah, man. No.
Like I watched a dude, he used bone marrow as part of the fat in cheeseburgers.
No. Dude, this is like grossing me out.
Well, that's the crazy
So
thing, right? It's
bad.
like it's think of it, it's just a fat source at the end of the day, right?
No, I get
So-
it. And like there's plenty of things, Sean, that like freak me out that make no sense. So I'm
And-
not
and, like-
surprised that I'm freaked out.
And like you said, it's part of like, you know, good broth, like that rich
Oh, let's try some of this Kushlada.
umami
dude, like,
flavor
pulling
that's
it
in a
out.
broth.
Yeah, because
So-
I'm pretty sure that that's like what's the difference between like pho and like other kind of
Well, yeah, because some people
Asian
will do like a
countries.
meat broth where they'll just like boil, like say a whole chicken, and that's their chicken stock. Whereas some people will use a chicken carcass and boil out all of the bone.
Yeah, I think that's the way that I've always thought it was.
And the pho is special because that's like a 48-hour fucking broth if done correctly, like traditionally, if I understood from some of the cooking I've been watching these last several months. It's like a long process to make a true pho broth, which is why it's like super rich because shit's been, slow simmering for a couple of days. Oh, oh.
Dude, I want some of that too. I'm gonna have to like make a hit list. Like I'll pick like 12 different things and make sure that I get it done every month of this.
Well, I
this
feel
year.
like with you and your like whole like home cooking meal prep, process, you could probably make a banging broth in like a slow cooker and then
Yeah, for
prep
2
that out.
days. Well, you know what? I might look into this, okay? Like I'm not gonna guarantee this is not a confidence, like this is happening. This
Well, because
is
I mean,
I'll look into it.
you could make a large batch of broth, portion that out, and then all you have to do is boil some noodles and thaw your broth.
Yeah, fair enough. Like I mean it's
You
definitely
have
possible.
homemade instant pho. Get you some.
I definitely need to get some different types of food, I think.
I
I
mean,
think
fuck.
that's needed.
A nice crock pot so you could just let that fucking
I
that
have a
shit
crock
simmer.
pot, so I could like maybe do it.
That's what I'm saying. You just build your
thought about
stock in
trying
a
to
crock
make, like-
pot for a few days.
Well, I've been trying to get the idea and the motivation and maybe something else, I guess, to make like a homemade soup that I could just like make a bunch of it and then just freeze it, you know what I mean? And I just haven't got around to it because it takes like a full fucking day to like make it properly.
Yeah. My grandmother used to make this soup. I think she called it ham and pea soup because it was like her kind of a version of a split pea, but it wasn't. So basically, like, it was some canned peas, if I'm not mistaken, maybe frozen. I don't know. I don't know the actual recipe, but it was peas, little tiny diced up chunks of ham, uh, whatever she used for broth. I think it was chicken, and a shit ton of rice.
Dude,
That sounds good to me.
this bag hits way better than the last one did. Whoa. That kush lotto's pretty tasty, dude.
Shout out to the Bud Tender recommendation, huh?
Yeah, it's a gelato kush mints cross. Thought I got a little mintiness there. I feel like the seal on this one's better, dude. So like when you actually hit the plunger, like makes a better.
Oh, you're actually getting like a much more proper pull.
It is feel like such an airy draw. You know?
That's got to make a big difference.
Yeah, dude, because I'm getting it's
choking, huh?
It's hitting me a little bit. You know what I mean? You guys
Bag's got a throat
like
hit,
when
huh?
where it goes and it just like hits right in the back of your throat.
Oh shit! The bag got a throat hit today.
Oh yeah. Honest, did you guys see how bummed my face was when that bag popped?
Yeah.
We're gonna have
For sure.
I might have to clip that out.
Yeah.
Just like I can see, like, oh,
clip
Just
it.
like make a fucking meme out of it.
Oh man. Yeah, that's a sad
Dude,
day.
my soul left me just as that vapor left that bag, dude. You know what I mean?
Like,
That was the volcano equivalent of freshly packing a bowl and then dropping your glass.
baby, come back.
You can blame it all on me.
That was such a bummer, guys.
Oh
That
man.
That hit me, bro. Make me
Well,
feel
I
some
mean, at
type of
least you
way.
had like a backups. You weren't on your
Oh
last
yeah,
one.
and luckily they're literally just like right here because I was fucking around with shit the other day. I should have just hooked the whip up to it, bro. I still have yet to use it,
Mm.
but I've been
Okay.
waiting because I'm gonna try to find a glass attachment.
Saying you get a long enough one, you could just kind of like hook that shit up off your
Oh no,
shoulder.
dude,
You'd be like,
dude, the whip is easily long enough to do it. I just want to get a glass piece so I could put it into a rig, get a little water diffusion, you know.
oh, I see where you're going.
You know what I'm saying? So take my old Dynavap rig and just get like a little glass attachment,
Little
hook the hose to
WAP
the
action,
yeah.
So, do you have one of those dab cap things kicking around?
I do not.
Because that would
Dude, I
literally
literally
be
could have grabbed
perfect.
one yesterday dude, this is the one thing that I also love about the new location that I'm going to for my dispensary is literally directly next door is a smoke/vape shop, and they've got everything. Like I went and got myself a little pearl, pearler thingy, Tula guy.
Oh, what?
Yeah, so I could just like either if I need to like reach into my rig to grab like the little pearl, I could do that, or grab it out of my jar of alcohol, so I don't have to try to sit there and try to finger fiddle fuck it to get, you know what I mean? Yeah, just go in there
Yeah,
and just,
no, that's sweet.
like,
Dude, that's like
check it out.
every time you're touching it, you're playing that fucking claw game.
Yeah,
Like,
see?
Well,
And then,
and you remember those things we were looking at like a month or so ago, where like the dude was able to load the oil, the hash into the little thing and drop it into a hot banger? That's a great tool for dropping those in.
yeah, it's fucking cool.
I've even seen
Honestly,
people heat a pearl outside of a banger and drop a hot pearl into a banger. I would be careful with that
I
because it's
wouldn't do that
glass.
because these are really fucking tiny little prongs too. I
Yeah,
wouldn't
like, that's
heat
gonna
it
be pretty
inside of
hot.
these because that they would fucking just
Yeah, but do you think that they'd even be
Yeah.
able to like handle it, even just picking it up if you heated it on something else and then
Oh
fucking picked it up and dropped
like
it
for
in
a
right away?
short time, yeah.
Oh yeah,
But
because
like
like
if you were to hit it with the direct flame, dude, these things it would be like overheating
yeah,
a
you would probably
coil.
melt them. I
You know, when
agree.
you overheat a coil and it turns
It
yellow and all of a
flops
sudden
almost.
just falls in, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. But like I've definitely seen people like pull a hot pearl out of a banger
Yeah.
with them and shit like that, so they can definitely handle a hot pearl for a bit. But yeah, like they're super fucking handy. You could even like if you're dropping diamonds, pick up a whole fucking diamond with it and then just
Yeah, I don't know if I'd want to like pick up like sticky stuff because eventually this thing would get fucking because it's already kind of getting like
yeah. Well,
not the
that's
smoothest.
that's what ISO's for.
Yeah. But anyhow,
I want big ones. That's what I want. Like as soon as I see that thing, I'm like, I want a big one. I want something that I can just like reach across my table where I can't quite reach in arm's length and like pick things up and pull them
Like,
back
they
over
make
to
them
me.
like the little claw thing?
or something.
Yeah, like there's like the one that has the like simple claw like that, but I want one like that. That thing's sick. Like that thing looks like it can pick up a friggin' light bulb and help you screw the light bulb in. You know what I mean? Like
If it was big enough, yeah, probably.
that's what I'm saying. Like that
'Cause I can only
style.
grab like small pearls and like stuff like that. Like I can't grab like one of my big marbles. It's not big enough.
Yeah, but if we had like a super big one, and
But if
pick up my whole
but if
fucking
we
rig.
had a super big one, bro.
Yeah, I could pick up a human head with it. All right, now I'm going too far. Or am I?
Let me finish this bowl over here. I was gonna rip a dab, but I've been on the volcano the past couple days, like heavy.
Nothing wrong with that, dude.
No, not at all.
And especially now
But I
with the
do have
fresh
some
bag.
delicious.
Worth
I do
too.
have some delicious fucking concentrates though, dude. I've got like some orange belts rosin. I got some white truffle diamonds.
Okay.
And
Okay.
a little bit of some garlic cookies, like sugar.
Good choice. Good choice. Some GMO sugars is always a great
Dude, and it
choice.
tastes delicious. Oh, you know what I should do later tonight? Get a little crazy and packable of this garlic juice that I've got. Sprinkle a little bit of the garlic cookie concentrate on top, and then fill up a couple bags.
I like your thinking. I like your
Ooh,
thinking a
maybe,
lot.
maybe even throw a little taste of some mochi in there. 'Cause I got a little mochi. Oh, do I still have some?
I love mochi.
Do I have mochi left? No, I don't. Damn it.
That like unique fruitiness of the mochi strain being like a gelato fino is so tasty. I am
Good in
so
hash.
grateful for it.
I've been on a big hash kick lately, like bubble hash. I
Mm.
like, dude, this water, cold cure hash, like that I've been getting. That stuff's pretty good too. I've got some pretty patties and some sour Cushmans.
Mm. Mm.
Full melt, dude. Like I've been throwing it in my normal like bucket banger, flat bottom. It does leave, little
Yeah, just a
residues,
tiny little bit of
but
like black
that's why
ash, right?
I'm doing, yeah, living it. That's why I'm doing it in that, not in my slurp.
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah.
it's easier to clean.
I had a buddy of mine introduce me to some shit like that. That was like just full melt hash, and it was the same exact experience. Like
Dude, let
it
me
was a
tell
weird
you,
bubble, and it just
it's
turned into like
so
this little bit of black
tasty, bro.
crust.
Yeah, it's tasty. It
I-
doesn't like it's super thick cloud either, because I do it real cold.
Yeah, that's a good choice too.
I
Yeah.
don't want to burn it.
I once got the opportunity to do fresh trichome heads. So I don't know exactly what the collection method is for this, but it was another full melt situation where it left more of a just like, how do I explain it? It just kind of like disappeared and left this like white stuff that like when you
silt?
Q-tipped it out, like it was gone. But I don't know how wet it was or anything. I wasn't the one handling it.
Mhm.
Um,
I wonder I wonder how they.
that's the thing is like it was like pure white.
What's the word? Procured these trichome heads. Like,
Well,
did they
well,
just
like
did they flash freeze them and like shake them and
that's
let 'em just
that's
fall
my
off?
thinking. Like for
So
the
did they do like the dry ice, fucking method, and they just got the finest of the fine bag, so it's like literally just the heads, no plant material.
it almost makes me think
You know
of
what I'm saying,
like
though, right, Sean?
yeah, like it almost makes me think of like if you were to flash freeze because you're doing like live rosins because it's the same
Yeah,
company,
yeah.
it's all live rosin. So if you would like flash freeze for your live rosin and like had like a sift tray underneath all of them, and as they like broke off, you just collected everything underneath the sift tray, and that's what you sold as like the trichome heads alone. Because this shit was like clean white, milky, looked almost like
powder,
like white powder bubble hash.
yeah.
And then like
Looks
you
almost
shut
like a baking soda.
almost,
per
yeah.
se.
Like you dropped that shit into a banger
Baking
and
soda.
it was fucking woo. I need baking soda. Shout out to OT Genesis, man.
Dude,
Yeah.
I knew you. I was hoping you were gonna catch that, bro.
Bro,
bro.
honestly, I'm so glad you just derailed that whole thought process with this because you just reminded me of this most ridiculous video. Did you ever see the kid do the I'm in love with Chipotle remix of that?
Yeah.
That dude had me in fucking stitches. Like, I'm in love with Chipotle. Guacamole. I need guacamole. Guacamole. I need guacamole.
There's so many good parodies of shit like
Oh
that.
my god. So good.
Anybody gonna see the Weird Al movie?
There's a Weird Al movie?
Yeah, and what's his name? Daniel Radcliff, I think. The guy who plays Harry Potter. Is that his name? He's playing him.
What?
Really?
Are you fucking for real?
Facts.
That's fucking wild.
Facts.
Daniel
Google it.
Radcliffe is
What?
Google it.
fucking Weird Al Yankovic.
Fucking Google it.
Hold
bro.
on.
Prove me wrong right now.
I'm
'Cause
about
if
to-
I'm making this up, I'm a
I-
fucking genius.
Dude, yeah.
I have a
need to be
goddamn
on your
window
level.
open, so I'm literally about to Google. I'm looking at it right now. Weird Al movie. Come on, let's go Google. Let's see what you got for me, and don't
Prove
just tell me
James
UHF. Weird, the Al Yankovic story. 2022.
Oh, so it's already out?
Yeah, apparently. Whoa!
What?
This is like I just immediately saw in the trailer frame him as Weird Al, and it's weird. It's weird. Hold on. It's a Roku original, apparently, from what I'm seeing here. Let me see
My
here.
parents have Roku TV.
Let's do this. See if I can screen share for you. Boom. And boom. That's what we're going to share. Here we go. You guys seeing this?
Yep.
Excellent.
Um.
I don't have the audio on, obviously.
Yeah.
No.
Well.
Yeah, here he is as a kid.
Okay, that's not Daniel Radcliffe, obviously.
But there's
No,
Daniel
there he is.
Radcliffe. He still looks like Harry fucking Potter, though.
Dude, he's always gonna look like Harry Potter. That's just the way that it
He
is.
kind of looks like Swaggins with an afro, too, which is
Sorry. My mind went right
Oh,
with
no,
Sean
don't
might be
do-
there.
Don't do that to me, bro.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
That's what's his face?
Dwight Schrute?
Yeah.
What's his name? Rainn Wilson?
That sounds right to me.
He changed his name to like something crazy though, didn't he?
But wow, man. He really does look like a young Weird Al.
She's supposed to be Madonna.
I don't know.
Yeah, she's supposed to be Madonna.
She's dressed like Madonna.
It's also like the times, bro. I'm gonna say this. Even though I've not watched any of this with sound, I feel like I will watch this movie.
I know. I kind of want to watch it. Just
Yeah,
I
man.
feel
Like
like I
I'm
would
kind of
watch
into
this
it. Like
movie.
he really does look like a young, like I assume we've both seen UHF, right?
Yeah, I've seen you.
Yeah, like he really does look like a young Weird Al to me, man.
It's not as off as it was when James first said it. I'll say that. Like at first, I was like, "What the fuck?" And then I was like, "Okay."
Yeah, like I
see
wasn't quite prepared to hear it.
Dude,
But now
just
that I
saying
see it, I'm like,
Swag's
okay.
reference though, that fucking just killed me so hard. Like it's still all I'm thinking
Oh,
about
dude.
right now.
I know.
Just
Now
because he has the duster in there.
now I need the homie to just get an afro wig like that.
Dude,
It'd be
I should
gold.
just like screenshot Daniel Radcliffe in that, and then screenshot Swags, and then just
And just
make it-
Photoshop the wig on real quick.
Yeah.
Hey, Swags, I want to let you know I take no part in any of this.
I also don't have the skills, so this is basically just like me giving the idea to somebody.
I know we got
That's
a few
about it.
friends out there who can handle that task if they want to take it upon themselves.
I could get like two pictures and turn them into one picture, as in one side by side. But
Have you seen this man? He may look like this. Make it look like an aged photo. Missing persons.
Dude,
Last
that's like
scene.
one thing that like I want to throughout this year is just like get better at using a computer, like being able to do more things on a computer. I just thought of that because I said that before. That all I could do is put the pictures side by side. I want to get better at doing stuff so I could like put multiple layers, peel layers, do certain shit like that.
It's
I think that'd be fun.
it's a YouTube video away, my friend.
Yeah, dude. Because like I've been like trying to like make like gifs or gifs all the time, and like cropping off like the heads of NFTs and whatever, just for like fun, right? Just for jokes. And it's like all right, but I feel like there's got to be a way better way to do it, like on a computer, to like make it like really clean and shit.
Well, I mean, nowadays there's like AI fucking programs for all that shit where you could just be like, upload these and turn it into a GIF, and it's like, bing, here you go.
Dude, I kind of want to do that with like like do that with like a fucking hopper or something. Throw it in the AI and see how it comes out at the end.
Yeah. Oh man. Well, I mean, AI is fucking crazy. Like,
But
So,
dude,
yeah.
you can get people.
there's some
like
of those
writing
things, bro, that are
essays and
so
shit.
sketch, dude, because like a lot of those like AI apps and all that shit, like when you read the terms and conditions and a lot of that shit, bro, you're agreeing to a lot of shit, bro. And I don't think people even read it.
No, a lot of them don't. A lot of them don't.
And a lot of it's some sketchy shit, like being able to like connect to like any fucking computer or device on your network or whatever else. Dude, just vibing.
That's one of them.
You made that?
Yeah.
Dude, that's sick.
That's actually pretty good.
Yeah, this one's not so good, but I made
Dude,
this one too.
simplicity is best sometimes.
It's like that smart GIF or GIF where it's like the dude's just like, it's like smart.
Yeah, man. See, because like that's the thing, like secret to some of my success in just my work life, right? Like I have to do a lot of image manipulation on the fly. Sometimes my vendors, the image they give me is just not that good, and I need to like clean it up and stuff. There's like some great AI background removers and things like that that'll just like cut the things you need out like that. It's crazy. And they're just like internet websites, like for producers now, for audio producers, right? Like when I started learning how to make music, if I wanted to sample vocal out of a track or remove vocal from a track and just have a beat, I had to know how to do that in audio software. Now I can go to websites and upload a track and it can cut the vocal out for me and give me just an vocal sample. It's wild. I had to like go through loops and bounds to get that I got 5 on it sample and then pitch it and do all that shit so that it would, be safe for us to use as our intro on the green room. And nowadays I could fucking just go get that track and just upload it to this thing and whoop, here you go. Here's just the vocal track. Crazy.
Dudes. Well, this totally has nothing to do with what we're talking about. You know me, I get stoned, I start doing stuff behind the scenes. But I might have figured out a way to put cool backgrounds. And wait, let me see what this does. Whoa, what the fuck?
Whoa.
I don't know what that. I don't know how I did this, but this is crazy, right?
It doesn't
Dude,
like
that
me.
is fucking crazy.
It doesn't like me apparently.
No, I'll fix it. But like,
hold on though. I want
It's
to see
Sean
something.
looks like a professional wrestler right there.
I was hoping if I like increased my lighting or something here through like my ISO that maybe it would work. But no.
it might be because you're wearing a green shirt.
You wouldn't like me when I'm angry.
I have a green shirt on.
Yeah, but yours is a little bit darker.
Yeah, no, that's true.
That was hilarious.
By the way,
that was
that
amazing.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Sorry, like I was just fucking around with shit because
That was fucking amazing.
I was
man.
listening to what you were saying, but I was just like, oh, what does this do?
I wonder if that's because I don't have the ability to use the virtual backgrounds in this. Because like my graphics card is not like a good graphics card. I wonder if that's the issue. Let's see.
I'm gonna mess with it again. Let's see if I can.
Or maybe it's just the fact that my computer thinks that the color of my skin is the color to remove. Because, yeah, as you can see here, I have a lovely bridge in my face. It's beautiful. So apparently, that's the issue. Let's manually pick the color of my background now. Oh my!
Oh, whoa! You're the Golden Gate Bridge.
Yeah,
Almost literally, like you're just like eyeballs on the Golden Gate Bridge.
it's amazing, right?
Man, it won't let me like.
If I fuck around with that shit, it's just gonna like blow me all out for sure.
Yeah,
I don't have like any lighting. I just have like the blinds behind me working or open, not working. That's not the right way to say it.
Any of that stuff we can mess with later, I guess.
Hey man, you know what?
Fun is
We're
fun, man.
That's what I'm saying. We're just
Dude, I'm high as shit, dude.
we're
I've been
just
doing bag
messing
after bag
around.
over here, and
there's all sorts of silly shit we can do. We can do
dude,
studio
like I was
effects.
looking through it the other day. Like we could play like games and shit. Like you could play Heads Up.
There's some
We
wild
could play
shit.
poker.
Wow.
They have like a bunch of other things in here too that I thought about checking out, like where I could mess with backgrounds and the way it looks and shit. That's kind of what I was doing, but I didn't mean to derail.
Dude, it's fine, man. You know, in the interest of games though, it's funny you bring that up because like I've been listening to the morning show that strangely enough kind of inspired this show, the Free Beer and Hot Wing show. And remembering some of the like ridiculous things that they did on that show that I was like, bro, some of this stuff sounds just like we do what we do. Like they have this fantastic bit called Dumber Than the Show Trivia. 90 seconds, 5 questions, caller and one of the people go head to head basically to see who can get the most questions right. And if caller wins, money. If not, more money is added to the pot. And I was like, dude, I like that. I like that idea. They had another one. They've got a running celebrity death list going. So predictions as to who's going to die this year.
Dude, there used to be a morning show I listened to growing up as a kid. It was like one of the best like rock stations out here. And they used to have this like thing. I forgot what the title of it was, but like it was like shit that only would happen in Florida, and it'd be like headlines and shit.
Oh yeah, the classic Florida man bits.
Yeah, dude, and they were hilarious. Or they had like dude, they had so many good ones, bro.
Dude, Florida man headlines are pure comedic gold. Like some of the shit that just seems to happen there, although apparently these things happen everywhere. We know that there's plenty of crazy stuff.
Can't I remember the title of any of these fucking bits they used to do, bro?
Like
so good.
I just Googled Florida man. All right. And immediately in top stories, headlines. Florida man accused of killing coworker with sledgehammer.
What?
Shit.
Florida man arrested after multi-county police chase ends with woman's body. All right, now I need to click this to see what the rest of this headline says.
I don't know if I want to know.
Ends with woman's body found in car.
Man, Florida.
You guys ever heard the one where the guy robs the drive-through with an alligator?
Yes.
What?
He had an alligator in the back seat of his car, pulls up through the drive-through, and robs them holding an alligator.
Yes. Yes. I'll make this alligator bite you.
Oh my gosh. Dude, I guess that is
I'm not lying about this. You can Google this and it's an actual story.
Here's another good one.
No, I'm saying for anybody listening.
Yeah.
Yeah. Florida man shot, tried to rob person he rear-ended outside popular Orlando restaurant.
Dude,
there's better ones,
penitentiaries must be like filled.
Okay,
Well, it
here we
seems
go.
like
Here's
there's
a good
lot of
one.
crimes going on down there, and a lot of people live there.
I love this this listicle website. It's one of my favorites. This is a list of 60 times Florida man did something so crazy he had to read the headings twice. Florida man wears fuck the police shirt to court, wins case.
Nice.
Good for
Respect.
him.
Respect.
It's a ballsy move, but
Respect.
looks like it paid off.
Florida man attacked during selfie with squirrel.
Understandable. You probably deserved it. Squirrel's like, hey man, you didn't
Dude,
ask
there's
for
actually
permission.
a lot of squirrels I've seen when I've been in Florida before. Like a lot, and they look
Mhm.
way different than the squirrels that I would have around here.
Here's a good one. Florida man in no, seriously, I have drugs t-shirt arrested for possession of drugs.
No,
Dumbass.
seriously, I have drugs t-shirt. Was
This,
arrested.
all right, Chris, you're going to love this one. Florida man suspected of using private plane to draw giant radar penis.
That's amazing.
Oh,
That's pretty
my
good.
God. Shout out to that man. That's amazing.
You know, that's what happens when you just wake up and you have a dream and you achieve that dream, you know?
And you're a dude.
So here we go. Head nod to what James was just talking about. Florida man charged with assault with a deadly weapon after throwing alligator through Wendy's drive-through window.
Yeah, that was the one I was talking about.
So I was just saying, calling right back to what you were just talking about. There's the actual headline.
It wasn't like a big 7 foot. It was just like a baby one, but still.
Here's a slightly heartwarming one. Florida man steals a car, realizes a baby is in it, drops
Oh
baby
my
off
God.
safely, and makes his getaway.
Dude,
At least he was not a complete monster.
I don't know. I still don't know how I feel about that.
I don't feel good about it.
Yeah. Fuck that guy.
Florida
Not giving him
cop.
any props regardless, bro.
Here we go.
Fuck that guy.
Florida cop claims Burger King put dirt on his food. Investigation reveals it was seasoning.
Oh, dude, I
Dumbass.
thought you were gonna say something even worse.
Oh. Well, when he started with the C. I see where you. Okay. Yeah. Bad.
I remember this one. Do you? Thousands of gun owners in Florida planning to shoot down Hurricane Irma.
Oh yeah.
Just gonna shoot the hurricane. Y'all get now. Sid, get.
Y'all get now.
Florida man gets tired of waiting at hospital, steals ambulance, drives home.
Respect, dude. He said, fuck this shit, I'm out.
Ah, yes. Here's a good one. Classic Florida man antics right here. Florida man tries to rob GameStop while wearing transparent bag on his head.
Gold.
All right.
Do you
now
know what
this
this reminded me of too, though? This made me think of how there's been a few times in my life when I would go on like people of Walmart, and I just like
yeah, dude.
scope out people of Walmart like crazy, and just like gets just so many laughs out of looking at that website.
Side note, remember I was talking about how I lost those sunglasses and I got that cool deal with that. Well, I found them. And I got another pair already cut. Sick. Spares.
Gangster.
Jeez, that is.
So this one might be peak Florida man. You guys ready for this?
Just because I'm one of these for the rest of the episode.
Yes. Get it.
I can't see you guys at all, by the way.
Those are that dark. Fire. So yeah, this might actually be peak Florida man right here.
I look like the fucking Terminator.
Florida man breaks into jail to hang with friends.
This screen, if I could see better.
Dude, I like that.
Oh, there we go. I could see.
He broke into jail to see his friends. Why wouldn't he just break into jail to get his friends out? Like, dude was probably just chilling it, kicking it, playing like dice or something.
That's what I'm saying. Like, he just breaks into jail. And he's just like hanging out in the yard, pushing weights with his homies. Like, all right, guys, I'm gonna hop the fence and go home now. Oh my god, that's amazing.
Dude, it's so crazy, bro. I put these glasses on and my second monitor immediately turns blue. But I can see you guys fine on my second one. That's nuts. These things are a little dirty. Shout out to Dixon for the little microfiber in the corner. You know what I'm saying?
That's a fire innovation.
On every flannel and jacket they have, dude. Even some of their short sleeves, or not their short sleeves, but some of their bamboo and stuff. Oh yeah, now I can see.
All right, got another good Florida man one in this list. Florida man who tried to run to Bermuda in inflatable bubble, rescued by a Coast Guard again.
Again?
So this is the second time he's done it.
At least.
At least. Bro. What kind of... All right, I'll say this. Those are some pretty big balls to be like, I'm going to get inside this inflatable bubble thing and just run my ass to Bermuda. You got to have some nuts. Or a complete lack of fucking sense, but one of the two.
Dude, you know what I heard about,
There's
speaking of just
extreme
like
people.
running off to like some islands and some shit? I heard some crazy stories about some people like during like the Vietnam War or like times like around those times that like there's like this dude that escaped Vietnam and like hid in caves with like his 2-year-old son for like 40 years. And they wore makeshift loincloths and like survived off of like some weird stuff. And like his 2-year-old son had never seen a woman before. Like when they eventually like were found or brought back to like civilization, and like it was like this crazy story. But yeah, like they just like disappeared during the war. So like for like those 40 years, they still think the war's going on and shit. And then all of a sudden they like are found or like come back and like it's like completely different. Or like there's this guy during like World War II, like during like on the Japanese, like a Japanese soldier or something, like who crashed on like an island or something like that, and was there for I don't know, like some length of time, I guess, for like another like 30-40 years sort of situation. And then like he thought the war was going on the whole time because like apparently like the island he crashed on, there was constant plane traffic. So he just thought they were, he just thought the war was continuously going the entire time he was on this island.
Dude, that's like
Crazy, right?
crazy and really sad. You know?
I
Right?
feel like I remember
Dude.
hearing about this story, and like the worst part is
There's a
that
couple of them, dude.
like in these situations, like these guys get
He ended up
found.
he wanted to go back.
Yeah, like they get
You know
found
which one I'm
and they're
talking
like-
about, Sean? Yeah, they brought him back, and they got him cleaned up, and like he kind of spent a little time back in Japan, like during modern, and then eventually they like kind of took him back to the island, and like he's like he just wanted to stay back, bro. He wanted to go back and stay there.
Yeah, like he couldn't handle modern life anymore because like that wasn't the future he thought he was fighting for or something, I guess.
Yeah, dude, could you imagine though spending all that time thinking something's going on that ended a short period of time after you may have like crashed?
Well, like there are other stories like that too, like people who they believe that there's going to be like a nuclear attack or a nuclear explosion, like a reactor's going to blow or something, right? And so like they take cover in some sort of bomb shelter that's, you know, well outfitted, and nothing happens above ground. But because
Yeah,
they're
dude, wasn't
down in
there
their
like a Brendan
shelter,
Fraser movie about that?
there may have been, but like
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there was.
I'm pretty sure, and like that, like these are like true things that have happened to people. Where like then they come out like 10 years later, like, all right, it should be safe, and it's like, yeah, sorry, nothing happened, everything's fine. You just spent 10 years isolated for nothing.
Sean, you have Netflix?
Yeah, we have a Netflix, I do believe.
Dude, you need to check out Ancient Apocalypse, bro.
All right, I'm already interested.
By Graham Hancock. Dude, he talks about like all the old like crazy ancient civilizations that they're starting to find that may be a little bit more advanced than we've been giving them credit for.
Ooh.
Yeah, dude, it's pretty crazy, dude. I've watched a few episodes while I was gone on my trip, and there's some crazy places out there that like when they try to like explain it in like the way that's been explained, it doesn't make fucking sense, bro. You know what I mean? Like, especially like with some of like the new research and stuff that's been done that, you know, modern day archaeology is just refusing to accept. Like, dude, it's worth checking out, bro. But yeah, Ancient Apocalypse on Netflix. If you guys want to check that out, it's pretty cool, dude. Like you go and visits like fuck, why can't I remember? They're all the crazy ones, dude. Like there's this place in Indonesia. Fuck, what's it called? It's got a crazy name.
Sean, the movie I was talking about before is called Blast from the Past with Brendan Fraser. Came out in 1996, and the premise is a naive man comes out into the world after spending 35 years in a nuclear fallout shelter. So basically, his parents thought that there was going to be like a nuclear war, and he was born in like this nuclear fallout shelter, and he didn't leave it until he was 35 when like everybody was gone. Or something like that. I can't remember exactly, and he meets Alicia Silverstone.
Fucking Alicia Silverstone.
But it's like that same thing where you're saying,
Yeah.
like 30 odd years, it's like you just come out and you're like, what the fuck?
So in the similar subject of like interesting things, something else that you guys might want to check out. I know I gotta take a dive into it at some point. Is what the hell is the name of the actual podcast? Here we go. Huberman Lab is the name of the podcast. And
is it Andrew Huberman?
Yeah,
dude, this dude's fucking, he's a G, bro. I've listened to a few episodes of him on various other podcasts, and like, dude, he's got like some pretty cool like theories and like some knowledge that like
he's a classified neuroscientist, so like he understands like how the brain works and shit. And cool, I guess dude. He just recently, his most recent episode was with Rick Rubin, and it's called How to Access Your Creativity. And
I can imagine how crazy that would be, because I listened to the Rick Rubin episode on Rogan, and I've heard a few like other like interviews. Like there was cool interview I listened to with I think it was Kendrick Lamar and Rick Rubin had like a little sit down at one point. I think that was a cool interview. But dude. Rick Rubin, check that out.
That dude's worked with
everybody,
so many legends of music over the years that like,
and dude, he's created so many different like genres and like mashup, like, you know what
dude,
I mean?
Like his it's undeniable that there is some song that has affected your life that Rick Rubin had his hands in some way. He's such an undeniable
Walk this way,
force,
man.
You know, so like, dude, it's like that's something I have to get some time to check out, because I'm so curious to hear like his thoughts on the creative process, how he approaches things. Cause like I've been diving a lot into that. Yeah. Alchemist, the dude who like, he produced a lot of Action Bronson. He's produced a ton of other people, Mob Deep, shit like that. Um, some of his approach to production is really cool. Like his whole creative process is one of those, like he lives in his studio and that's that. Like at all hours he'll be up just fucking around. To him, sleep is a interruption into his creativity. And so like it's super interesting to see like how some of these creative minds think versus how they actually create their art versus like consuming the art itself. I know when we did this recent Shedhead session and I was throwing the Far Side's Running on there, Jay Dilla's creative process is super cool.
Dude,
Like
Jay Dilla is the shit, bro.
R.I.P.
I just have a
Dilla.
bunch of just instrumentals from Jay Dilla. Just like, oh, I compiled a bunch of just like beats and stuff that he'd made off of like some
Yeah, like his
site at some
different
point.
his different beat albums that he had put out and shit.
And I just put it on when I was driving around in the car and just listening to fucking Jay Dilla beats.
He's like he's so cool because like there's a story from Lauryn Hill when Dilla was working on her album with her, creating one of the tracks, and she come to the studio in Detroit, and he was showing her a bunch of different tracks and stuff, and she wasn't really feeling any of it, and she's like, no, like I want to create a track with you. And so Dilla was like, all right, fine, cool. And he's like, go ahead, you have free reign, pick any record you want off of everything I got in the crates over here, dig through, find a record, and we'll work with it. So she digs through, she finds the record, chooses it. They come over. He shows her exactly how to pick the parts. They pick the parts she wants. He shows her how to sample them, how to cut them, pitch shift them, move them around, and they created a track together. And it's super cool that like that is the kind of way that Dilla approaches things. Is like, all right, you want to create something with me? Let's go. And he literally taught Lauryn Hill how to create a beat on an MPC right there in like an hour. Like, I
That's
love
sick.
that. You know what I mean? Apparently, like, Jay was always into music as a young child. So, like, he'd been digging through records since he was a little kid. And so that was like his quiet place.
Digging
Like,
through the crates, as they say.
exactly. So, like, that was his style. Like, his favorite thing to do was go to this record store and just buy records. And like there are record store owners who talk about how like he'd just come in and he'd buy out the whole like R&B and soul section. Take all of them. That's dope. Buy a whole jazz section. Just like buy.
Yeah, I need that. He's like, I'm gonna take that.
Like I love that. I love that. I think that's fucking amazing. It inspires the shit out of me that's like the creative dedication that Dilla had. And like the humanization of what he did, the fact that like his music sounds so real. It's dope.
Oh.
What do we got there?
Some white truffle, bro. White truffle diamonds. Focus. There you go.
Oh, chunky.
Very saucy. And
Chunky. Saucy. Goodness.
Oh yeah, that's a chunk right there for sure.
Dude, that's like reminds me of the old chunky soup commercials where it was like the people would say they'd eat it with a fork and some people would say they'd eat it with a spoon. Did you guys ever see those commercials?
Yeah. Or they would always have like the football players and their mom.
That's the one that I
Remember those
remember
ones?
most. Yeah,
Did
the
they have the
chunky.
fork and spoon, or was it just like that was a chunky commercial?
No, it was like football players' moms reminding them to eat their chunky.
Dude,
pretty
chunky
funny, dude.
soup's legit though.
That was like late 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah, maybe
Dude.
I'm thinking of like ones from the 80s, but it was like guys would be like fighting over. if
Yeah, I
they ate it
wasn't
with a
around in
fork
the
or a spoon.
80s.
No,
so
that's why I wasn't sure if it.
I don't think
Kept on
Chunky's was
going.
around back then either, though.
dude,
Yeah, it was
you know
like
what's
around the
crazy
time
to
that it
me,
came
bro?
out.
Is that like people that I work like there's a dude that I work with that was born in like 2002.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm like, what?
That's crazy.
It's crazy, bro. It blows my mind. Time goes by so fucking fast now. I know we've probably talked about that before. I like to repeat myself a lot. But dude, it just trips me out.
It is though, like it's that weird complex that we always run into. Like the how did we get here this fast? You know? How did we get
Well, it's
here
just feel
this
like we just
fast?
get caught up. We just get so busy and caught up in our day to day that like we don't even think about like, you know, you don't think about it until it's already gone and passed a lot of times. Or at least I don't know.
Yeah. I
If
mean,
that
I'll
makes
agree with that.
sense.
I'll totally agree with that, honestly. It's
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 just
true.
because we're all so like, at least this is at least how I look at it. I'm always so like not in a rush, but like kind of in a hurry to get through the week so I can get to the weekend and do the things that I enjoy. You know what I mean? So it's just like the week just kind of turns into a blur to where it's like, oh shit, that was 4 or 5, that's 5 days, you know, that just fucking kind of meld into like 2 or 3. And then I've got like 2 days on the weekend that, you know, I'm just like, oh shit, well, where'd the whole week go? I've only got 2 days now to just
Yeah.
chill. And I've got a whole like, you know what I mean? Like
That whole
the perception of time just kind of gets fucked.
thing gets tough, man.
That's
Like
why it's like I totally agree with it being like a man-made construct of, you know, time, because sometimes a minute feels like an hour and sometimes an hour feels like a minute, depending on the situation. That was a real high thought,
but it's so
But,
Yeah,
true.
dude, I was
but
in
it's
a
true, I
place that was
feel.
like open to it for sure.
You
Yes,
know,
you know what I mean though?
I do.
Yeah,
Like
dude,
that's
I
the
was
thing.
riding
Like
shotgun to that. Like, I was right there.
100%.
Because like I was right there with you, bro. Like that's why I didn't say nothing, dude.
And
I love it, man.
because I had to know Chunky Soup first launched in the 1970s.
Yeah, there you go.
Wow. So that's some old ass soup.
Yeah, dude, you'll have to like look up a commercial though. That's fork
Fighting over
versus
fork
spoon.
versus spoon.
Yeah, like
huh?
I even remember there being one with like almost like cavemen or like
Wow.
Vikings or something. Like something really old world. Like really, really old world.
Fork versus spoon.
That was a very substantial dab there, fellas. Ben Globin came out to play.
I guess it's not always just a little dab will do you.
Yeah, sometimes you just got to get in there.
That's when Ben takes over.
I couldn't tell how big it was with these glasses on.
Yeah, yeah. I can't help but notice like the resemblance to like Easy E style those glasses are. It's bringing me
Yeah, he
back to
just
some of
needs
those
like Jerry
classic.
curl at the side of his hat.
Bring me back to some of those classic NWA posters and shit.
Woo!
Spork versus Foon by Campbell's Soup.
The good old spork, dude.
Yeah, I don't know if it was that. I think it was literally just somebody who would say they.
You guys remember the spork though? Good old
Oh man, you
school
can still
lunch.
get it at some places. Some
It's-
fast food restaurants even have them.
It's still a camping utility that people use all the time.
Dude, they have titanium sporks now.
Dang.
Oh Jesus.
I can get behind sporks as a camping utensil for sure. I don't know if like it would be like a daily use thing, but camping I could see it.
Yeah, man. For camping, you get that fire one. You get the fucking spork with the knife on the edge. All in one utensil. Let's go, baby. My only question with that is how am I supposed to cut with that knife edge when my fork isn't able to? I need two. So that's the only problem with that idea.
Dueling sporks, bro.
Ding, 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 ding. Ow. Yeah. Well, on those deep thoughts on sporks, I think it's a great time for us to wrap this show up. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for hanging with us for another one where we get stoned and go around the world in 80 days or less. This is Jules Verne, and I'm going to pass it around the room. Uncle Chris, take it away.
Thank you very much. Appreciate you guys for coming along for the ride. I got pretty ripped, and I had a good time. So hopefully you guys did too. Of course, if you guys want, you can check me out on Tuesday nights on KVTV's YouTube channel for Mixing It Up. It's at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. It normally goes about an hour, and then we feel guilty that we go over, and then we keep on going over. So it's always it's around an hour long. Of course, you can also check Sean, James, and I on the Green Room on Friday nights. Always just good time. We just like chilling. Having conversations, occasional guests, people coming up. Feel free to check it out at any point. And go to shedtimepodcast.com. Check that out. Of course, you can listen to the podcast there, but there's tons of other stuff. Our Patreon, links to guests, all sorts of cool stuff. So feel free to check that out. And I'll say, everybody be safe, have a good week, and live your best life.
All right. And as always, I want to shout out all the Shedheads for you guys' continuous support. 5-star reviews on any podcasting platform you may be listening to us on. That helps us pop up in the algorithms, helps more people find out about the podcast and stuff like that. Always tell your friends, always recommend it if you guys enjoy what you're listening to. Let us know what you guys think. You know what I mean? We always appreciate some feedback in some way, shape, or form. And there's ways to get in contact with us over there on the website. Of course, Chris already told you guys can check us out on my channel on Fridays if you guys want to get into some, some more vape-oriented content, or sometimes, a little double dose of what you get here on the podcast, depending on how we're feeling. You know what I mean? Sometimes we just kind of free ball it like we do here. So go check us out there. Other than that, we'll be back here doing the same thing we do every Sunday, getting high, shooting the shit, chilling out, good vibes, all that. And as always, sending out all those positive vibes, crisp high fives. And as always, a little dab will do you. And don't forget to tell someone you love them.
Bada bang. Yes, sir. And ladies and gentlemen, one more time, big thank you all for being part of this Shedhead community that we've been building over the years. It means the world to us. You guys can check us on over at the Shedtime Podcast website. That's shedtimepodcast.com. And you can get all sorts of links to merchandise, to other cool things, music. The show itself. Everything, even a link to the Patreon if you want to support the show in that way, which we would greatly appreciate if you do, but by no means is that an obligation. Feel free to listen to us on your favorite platform, wherever you are, anytime you want. With that being said, you know what I'm going to tell you. Don't let the bastards get you down. Be cool. Don't be a dick. And whatever it is that you do, be sure to have some fun, because this is the Shed Time Podcast, and it's time to roll on up and roll on out. Dynavap. Looking to cut the cord on your dry herb vape? Dynavap. Trying to get the best taste from your herb? Dynavap. Ready to take your sesh to the next level? Then meet Dynavap, the best way to vape your flower or concentrate. Concentrates? That's right, your flower or hash can be vaped using Dynavap. Check out Dynavap.com to learn more. That's Dynavap.com. Lose the ash? Dynavap.
What's going on, Shedheads? It's your boy, Frames Janklin. Are you looking to step up your match game, or have a raw copper, brass, or stainless mod or RDA that you're absolutely tired of polishing? Then you need to go and hit up my man Ashton of Palmer's Powders. He does some absolutely amazing powder coating work. He offers many different colors and finishes at an absolutely killer price. This man is taking powder coating to a whole new level, and he can make your setup an absolute masterpiece. You can go follow him over on Instagram at Palmer's Powders, and you can go check out pricing on his website, palmerspowders.com. That's palmerspowders.com. And as always, let's just vape on, Shedheads.
I want you to think of your favorite rebuildable right now. Yeah, okay, so you have a layer cake in your hand, and now you're about... Oh, sorry, yeah, that's not everyone's favorite. That's just mine. So think of your favorite rebuildable atomizer. Think about how good of a vape it produces for you. Now, take that and amplify it. And the way that you amplify that is you put in some Breezestone coils. Breezestone coils are handcrafted in Adelaide, Australia. They're made from some of the finest quality wire that you can get. I believe it's wire Buddha. You take those coils, you take them out of that phenomenal packaging that clearly shows how much care that Adam puts on the quality of his coils and the insurance that you get them in good shape. You put them in that favorite RDA, and guess what? You have coils that now sing better than Celine Dion. Go check out Breezestone coils. You can find them on localvape.com and also steelvalleyvapors.com. Solid. And somehow, like, I don't know how, but like I flipped the screen on this and I can't flip it back. I don't know how to do it. So it's like completely upside down. And it's fucking annoying.